Alright guys, how's it going? Welcome back. Well, behind me is my 2003 Mercedes S-Class. You remember from the video that I did threaten that I was going to do a road trip, and today, the day has come. It's kind of a fuel challenge this really, or a range test. I'm planning to drive to the most northern part of Great Britain, Groats. It's 500 miles from here. I want to try and see if I can do it from a single tank of fuel. It's a 3.2 litre diesel, so it should be capable. But one thing that is quite concerning, since I last filmed with it occasionally goes into sort of like a limp home mode. You get a flashing glow plug light and it loses all power. I took it to a Mercedes specialist that I use, SPR in Stockport, and one of the previous owners, I don't know which one exactly, has sort of wiped the ECU so they can't even scan it. So there's no engine light, there are no faults, just this flashing glow plug light. So they recommended that I replaced all the glow plugs with genuine ones. Somebody's replaced them with aftermarket ones. So I put a brand new set of genuine Mercedes glow plugs on, and still, the fault still remains. Sometimes it's okay, and other times it kind of splutters and misses, so I really don't know whether this will get me there. It might seem like a bit of a risky move this, but what's the worst that can happen? Let me show you what I've got planned. So we're starting off here just on the outskirts of Manchester. We're heading up on the motorway, the M6, past Carlisle, Lake District, all the way to Glasgow, and then head to the Highlands. I haven't actually been this far north before. I've been to Inverness to drop off a car many years ago, but I haven't been any further than that. And this is a considerable distance further than that. The plan tonight is to stay in a place called Wick. I booked an Airbnb in Wick, so I'm going to drive there, and then tomorrow morning, hopefully, all being well, continue to Groats. Fortunately, I'm not doing this on my own. We've got a backup Mercedes S-Class, that 2009 S320 diesel, and I've got my brother, Steve, and John. So I have got plenty of company. It's currently 7:30 AM and we've got 500 miles to do. I could make some sort of reference to the Proclaimers there, but I shan't.
When I wake up, well I know I'm gonna be the man who wakes up next to you. And if I haver, yeah I know I'm gonna be the man who's havering to you. But I would walk 500 miles and I would walk 500 more to be the man who walked 1,000 miles to fall down at your door.
Well, we're in Scotland. We just stopped off at the services for some local Scottish cuisine. I think it was called a Burger King. In case you're wondering, I had a double bacon cheese and they didn't deep fat fry it, so we're off to a good start. It does have quite a bad diesel injector knock, this. Listen to this. It's not great, that, is it? But on the bright side, it hasn't really missed a beat. In fact, it's been quite good. I was fully expecting this to break down. After the couple of little issues I've had with its flashing glow plug light and its slight misfire, I really didn't expect to be in Scotland. Get your arm at the shot.
Is it in?
Probably. It's like I'm travelling with the thing off Adam's Family. Full hand. Since we set off this morning, I've done 190 miles and I've only used a quarter tank of fuel. This should do, what's that, 2, 4, 6, 8, 800 miles to a tank. Should. It should do that. You know what's been most impressive about this? I've just sat at the speed limit with my cruise control on and it's doing less than 2,000 revs. According to the car's onboard computer, I've got 635 miles left in the tank, and I've got about 295 miles until I get to Wick. I'm not sure whether I believe this trip computer or not, but since I started, I've done 65.7 miles per gallon from a 20-year-old diesel Mercedes. I know I've said this kind of thing before, but it's just made me realise you couldn't do this kind of trip in an EV. The same thing was true of my old XC70 Volvo that I took to Switzerland. That did, I don't know, 56 miles per gallon, and it done 300,000 miles. What else can I say, John?
Talk about how you hit all the minstrels.
The scenery's definitely changed for the better. Driving up through the Lake District, it's really, really picturesque. Before I set off, I filled the tank and it took 120 odd pounds, and I did use premium V-Power diesel. I just thought with that little injector knock that it's got, it needs all the help it can get. I'm currently on the M74, coming up to a place called Hamilton. There used to be an old palace in Hamilton, you know, that got knocked down, called Hamilton Palace.
Really?
Yeah. Apart from that, then, there's nothing else to report. Everything is all going A-OK. I have to keep reminding myself that I'm in a 20-year-old car. It just drives like any other modern car, really. The ride's impressive, it's nice and comfortable, and these seats are supremely comfortable. It's just a really nice thing to be in.
My thoughts make me tired, just running through my mind. Wonder if there's peace I could know. Run away, run away, run away into your escape. Run away, run away, run away. Run away, run away, run away into your escape. Run away, run away, run away. You're never too far to run. Run away, run away, run away into your escape. Run away, run away.
Quick update for you then. I'm in a place called Tain, which is just north of Inverness. I just thought I'd stop here in this little car park and have a look at the view. I'm about an hour and a half away from Wick, and to be honest, I'm quite bored of driving now. But it's done me really proud. I was just about to say I haven't seen a single engine light, but then there wouldn't be because they've all been wiped. But really, it hasn't put a foot wrong. I've still got just over half a tank of fuel and a range of about 480 miles. I very much doubt this will get me there and back on a single tank, but it'll be closer than you'd think. I've kind of figured out how to drive it now. When you're building up speed, you've got to be quite gentle with it because all you can hear is that injector knock. But when you're up to 50 or 60 miles an hour, it's quite smooth and quite quiet. The seats are comfortable, you've got double glazed windows, the air conditioning works. It's been quite a pleasant experience, really. The plan tonight then is to check into the Airbnb and see what's kicking in the town of Wick. See what the vibe is. I'm not saying that. I'm hoping to find a nice little pub where I can have a couple of pints and maybe a nice Indian restaurant. That's what I fancy. So I think that's about it. I'll catch up with you later on when I'm in Wick.
Ta-ra.
See ya. Well, welcome to Wick. We just got here. The two cars made it here perfectly fine. I just realised I look like a bit of a low-budget dictator, don't I, turning up in two S-Class Mercedes. I should have got some flags for the bonnet, shouldn't I, really? I've got the keys for the Airbnb, so I think the plan is to go and unpack, go and get a few beers, something to eat, and then tomorrow we've got about 20 miles to get to John o' Groats. The final drive, though, to Wick was just unbelievable. Some of the roads were just out of this world. It'd be nice to come back and do it one day in something a bit sportier than the old S. And the weather's been perfect. When I checked the weather yesterday, the forecast was 16 degrees and drizzly, but it's been bright blue skies and sunshine, so we couldn't have picked a better day, really. It's just coming up to 7:30, so we've been on the road now for about 12 hours, so I've had enough. So I'll go and rest tonight, and then see you in the morning.
Right, so today, me and Steve went to Home Bargains to get some screen wash. While we're in there, we saw this, and as you know, Matt hates aftermarket. So, can you see that? Interior LED lights, plug-in with a remote that we're going to keep. So we're going to fit him to the S-Class Easing. Matt's upstairs having a drink. He's not going to be impressed with it. We're going to keep the remote tomorrow. This was a good £8 well spent, this, wasn't it?
I don't think it was even that, to be honest.
Ah, no. Where should we put them?
There we go.
Yeah, you press that.
Oh, okay. That's
Right,
me.
so we'll leave that on.
Even if that's on theirs, that'll do.
Yeah, right. Yeah, hopefully you enjoy it. I think he will, to be fair. Let me get rid of it.
All right, guys. Well, it's a nice day in Wick today. Sun's out. We're about 25 minutes away from John o' Groats. Had a nice night's sleep last night, although I was rudely awoken by some very inconsiderate seagulls, but I did sleep quite well. So yeah, about 25 minutes away from John o' Groats, so we're gonna go and get a coffee now and head up there.
Getting hard to sleep, blood is in my dreams. Love is killing me, trying to figure it out. I let it go, 'cause I won't see you later, and we're not allowed to figure it out.
made it to John and Groats. There was one point where I didn't think we were going to actually. I stopped at a local co-op for a drink, and then as I got back to the car, it's been kind of misfiring and spluttering this morning. And as I got back to the car, turned on the engine, I had an ESP fault, and it wouldn't let me get it out of park. So I thought we were going to be stranded in the most northerly part of the UK. Fortunately, I did what anybody would do. I turned it off and back on again, and it was fine. And touch wood, it's been all right since. I know it's a 20-year-old car now, but I have had to be quite gentle with it. The injectors are knocking, and you occasionally get that glow plug light flashing, but it got me here. And most importantly, I've still got a range of 311 miles. It's really impressive that, isn't it, don't you think, for a 20-year-old diesel car? The drive down here this morning from Wick was unbelievable. Some of the roads are just wicked. I've got to do this again. I really want to do the North Coast 500, but in something a bit sportier. I'll have to put some thought into this and try and plan a good trip, because I definitely will be back. The quickest way home now then really is back the way we came, but I would like to change it. So I think what I'm going to do now is go to the coffee shop behind me, get a nice coffee, and have a look at my map and try and find a nice scenic route home. I shall keep you posted though, with the old S. I think it'll make it. It's got me this far, hasn't it?
Here we go again, you think by now I know better. Locked in my head, romanticizing forever.
Well, my fuel light's just pinged on. I've got about 1/8 of a tank. They tell me I've got 135 miles of range left, which means, let me work out how many miles we've done. I filled the tank yesterday morning in Romley and reset my trip, and I've done 681 miles. So I've driven from Romley, from IP Cortez HQ, all the way to John and Groats and back down. And I'm now somewhere near, in the Cairngorms, near a place called Dalwhinnie. It's quite impressive, isn't it, this? Saying that, I think I know why it's so economical. With my injectors knocking, probably only half of them are working. It means this car is probably capable of the best part of 800 miles. My plan now, I'll get maybe another 50 miles out of the way. And then I'll stop for some fuel and work out my exact MPG. Should be high though. I'm expecting it to be late 50s, early 60s.
Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine? Oh, won't you be my hopeless Valentine?
Well, we just stopped for some fuel, and since I left Romley, we've done 713 miles, and it took 75 litres of diesel. If you work that out, 713 miles divided by 75 litres times 4.5, we've done 43 miles per gallon. Which is weird because the computer says that I've been doing 62. So there's quite a disparity there, isn't there? Anyway, 43 miles per gallon, which I suppose isn't too bad, is it, for a 20-year-old Mercedes? We've got about 4 hours now until I get back to the office, and I've had enough, really. Yes, it's got massage seats, but I'm just bored of being sat behind the wheel. One quick interesting note actually, just as a matter of comparison, we also filled up the 2009 Mercedes S-Class, which has been used as a shadow car basically. And that obviously has done the exact same miles, but that only took 71 litres of fuel, not 75. So it is slightly more fuel efficient. Apart from my onboard computer then blatantly lying to me, it has been totally reliable. And when we left yesterday, I really didn't think it would be. I thought it was going to let me down, but it hasn't. Anyway, back on the road. I'll catch up with you later.
Oh, he's got the lights on.
Migraine now.
Like them.
Like Tim Westwood tomorrow, did.
Hey, you've officially been beat.
Well guys, we're back. We have done 1,029 miles. I can't believe this has got me here all in one piece. I've now got a bit of a migraine from those flashing lights, but we're here. We made it. After my last calculations, I really don't trust this onboard computer anymore, but I do trust the fuel gauge, and it's currently just above half. So we've used, well, about a tank and a half's worth of diesel. It's not bad, is it really? It's been a really long day, so I'm going to park this one up now and jump in the 09 S-Class. But yeah, if you enjoyed this kind of video, let me know in the comments below. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.